Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video comes from a user on TikTok by the name of MEHRX24. I do not even want to mess that up. But yeah, she's complaining about her husband works 64 hours a week and he doesn't have time to want to go out and be with the family because he only gets one day off. Me personally, if I was working that much, yeah, don't even bother me. I want my one day off to recoup because if I'm the sole provider, the only one working, you know, I don't want to be bothered. I want to get my rest so I can make sure that everything's being provided for. It's either that or go down to a 40-hour a week schedule and you get the job. But I'd like to know you guys' thoughts and comments down in the comment section. But let's get into this video and see what she has to say.
Y'all, so here's the thing. My husband works 2 jobs, and he works 64 hours a week.
So broken down, 64 hours a week, that's roughly 12.8 hours if he works 5 days, or 10.66 hours if you're spreading across 6 days. So depending on how it's broken up, he said he works, gets one day off, so that's what it would more likely be.
Has like 1 day off. And within that 1 day, I want him to go outside with us, like me, Sophie, and him, and I want us to have a family day. But he wants to stay home and spend time with us.
I don't blame him because think about it. You spend all your time at work dealing with other people's BS and other nonsense. That one time that you get to yourself and you have a day off, you might want to just stay home, lounge, like I said, recoup, because work, it takes a lot out of you, depend on what you're doing. You could be construction, it could be, I don't know, some type, usually a police officer. Yeah, it takes a lot out of you. So you want to stay home and not do shit, kick back, enjoy a hobby, play a game. I also get where she's coming from, but she's at home all day, chilling. It's not necessarily chilling, but she's at home all day with the kid, you know, not really putting any physical exertion towards herself. So I understand what she's saying, but I'm more leaning to the guy's side because I've had job being in the military, being a police officer. It takes a lot out of you.
But I don't want that. I want us to be outside. And I'm upset with him because we don't go outside and do activities as a family. Am I being reasonable or am I being a bad wife?
I'm thinking she posted this video to try to get some sympathy from the girl code out there, the females online, to see what happens. But I was checking, she got her comments turned off, so apparently she was getting drilled to the point where she had to, try to hide it because, she was getting her ass towed up. But let's see what other comments, people posting about it from a man's perspective.
To that stay-at-home mom who's upset with her husband because while he works 2 jobs, 64 hours a week, and gets 1 day off, and on that 1 day off, she wants to go outside with the family, be outside, bop around outside, and he don't want to. He want to be at home. He suggested y'all do something at the house.
Chill at the crib.
Listen,
play some PC.
I feel you. I understand wanting to be outside, but you might have to let this one go. You might have to let this one go, because if I don't work 64 hours in the week, 1 day off, you better not even talk to me on my day off. Hell, a regular 40-hour week pissed me off plenty. But I will.
Bro, he ain't lying though. It's like, it depends on where you are, what you do, the type of clientele you end up being with. Say if you work at a homeless shelter, 64 hours dealing with these people all day long. Or, someone like some type of rehab, a halfway house. You're dealing with people all day long, like say police, being in the military, you're dealing with people all day long. Or, office job where you're taking phone calls, listen to people complain about shit that you don't even have any control over all day long. Think about that. That's going to take a toll on you. All you want to do is just sit back, prop up your feet, and just turn to freaking goo, just like not deal with shit. But I don't want to do this, I want to do it. You got to come home to a complaining ass wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever. Bruh.
I will say this. How about y'all just compromise, man? How about you do 1 outing a month, right? And then you might do 1 inning, 1 family
1 inning
gathering at home, and every other month y'all switch off who planning. see what I'm saying? But them other 2 weekends, let that man sleep.
Exactly.
Yo, so here's the thing. My husband works 2 jobs, and he works 64 hours a week. Has like 1 day off. And within that 1 day, I want him to go outside with us, like me, Sophie, and him, and I want us to have a family day. He wants to stay home. And
Again, I say I understand where she's coming from. She wants to be able to spend time as a family. But shit, you gotta look at the, read the room, dude. If dude looks worn out, like, I don't want to be bothered. Just let me be. Let me have this day to myself, and then I promise next weekend we could do something. No matter how draining it is, we could probably do something. But just come back and that's gonna cause a divorce.
time with us.
Unpopular opinion, apparently, based on this lady's video. She's correct and wrong at the same time. First, I find it very comical that people are like, oh my God.
Once you get a home job.
Some of you clearly either haven't run a business or ever been in a high-level position at a corporate position. Because 60 hours is like standard. Maybe some of you haven't worked blue-collar jobs.
Also, you got to think about it. Like, if he is working this type of position where he's management, supervisory, or above, he's doing this. He's providing. He's giving you everything that you need. She never complained about not having money. She wants to be out. She has a car. He probably has his own car, so she's able to do all this stuff. Have time to get on TikTok and post shit. Shitting on him. So she should just take account for what she's doing. Sit back, understand. Maybe I should do something. Maybe I should, start like a little business on the side. TikTok, do other stuff, not necessarily shit on him because of him going out, slaying the dragon, provide for the family. I don't understand that. It makes her look bad, in the long run.
Every dude that I know that works blue collar jobs is like pushing 80 sometimes. The problem is the 2 jobs. Now, I don't know what kind of jobs they are. Let's assume they're high intensive because obviously he's working 2 jobs. So it's some sort of labor type job. So he's probably exhausted. The compromise here is very, very simple. They basically pick a day, plan a day during the month on the day that he has
Exactly.
off, and that's the day you go out. The other days, let that man rest. And as I usually do, I'm gonna call you both out. Some men are complaining about this because, well, let that man rest. He needs his rest. First of all, you're a man. I don't know how else to tell you this. Be a man.
That's not it, though. This is where he's wrong. Be a man. That's the thing. Society wants you to always be a man. I get it. Generation X, that's what we do. But a lot of these people, these new age males, especially like the millennials moving towards, forward, they can't handle the same shit that we can handle growing up in, in the mid 70s, 80s, and 90s. They can't do the same shit that we do. That's why they're complaining. That's why they're, more soft, more feminine men out there. So depending on what this man is, his generation, that's all he knows. I get what he's saying, but at the same time, it's not working because it's be a man, be a man, be a man. That becomes the toxic man, apparently, to what everybody wants to say. So I see both sides, but let that man rest.
It's that simple. Second, for the ladies that are like, oh my God, let that man rest. Some of you in those comment sections are the very first ones to leave a man because
That's
he
true
wasn't
too.
spending enough time with you. It's weird how easy groupthink captured you.
Or like me, being in the military when I was married to a civilian, deploying all the time. That's part of the job. That's the understanding. Shit happens.
Truly fascinating. Fascinating indeed.
Since everybody's been telling me to get a job, I thought I'd explain why I don't have one at the moment. In the past year, I have tried to get a job, and it hasn't worked out for me because the time that they asked me to work, I can't do because I don't have anyone to watch my kid. Anthony works a full-time job that requires him to do that. He cannot watch Sophia. Second, would be that I was quoted a little over $3,000 for $3K, and if I work a minimum wage job, that does not cover that. I've tried the remote option. That hasn't worked out for me because they wanted me to be on site for like 3 months to train. I can't do that. Second, I tried DoorDash, Instacart, you name it. Well, I haven't tried DoorDash. I've tried Instacart, and my husband didn't like it. He said no, and I was like, fine, I won't do it. But yeah. One more other thing that I do want to say, that even let's say in a perfect scenario, I do end up having a part-time job. My husband's not going to quit his second job. He won't. He's told me that before. So, yep. So that's why I started posting TikToks, because I don't know, I was watching too many TikToks that were saying, like, just post your content. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do that. And
But she started posting content, shitting on her husband. So that didn't work out either.
yeah. Anyway,
Pick
I
a different
also wanna say that
subject.
I don't post in real time, you guys. Me waking up and like doing my overnight curls, that was posted at 5 p.m. But I didn't wake up at 5 p.m. That is absolutely ridiculous. I woke up at 10 a.m. That was me sleeping in. As a mom, you can't do that. And also, side note, my husband likes to buy food outside. I am trying to teach him or explain to him that that's not good financially. And yes, we are trying to cut it down because the purpose of this year is to be financially stable and not depend on his second income, so we can save that. For the people that are wishing me and my husband would get a divorce, not gonna happen, y'all. It ain't.
But if you keep on the way you're going, you're gonna end up getting divorced. You know, complaining about not getting enough time, but he's the one who's bringing home the bacon, literally, working all these hours to provide for you and your family, and you want to complain about it and then make TikToks about it. But that's my comments. That's my concerns about it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, give me a thumbs up. Catch you next video. Peace.